Hello again, ladies and gentlemen. Eddie Marcus here, spokesman and advocate of basic human rights. I want to speak today to say to everybody that hears my voice, righteousness must start now. The pain and suffering that Americans and human beings are feeling, it must stop now. It must stop now. Why do these things exist? Tell me, why do they exist? Because of ignorance, because of evil, because of the devil, and because human beings that have turned their back on God. Now, who comprise this number of people that have turned their back on God? I would say to you, everyone, except those that are on death row for rejecting the system that they are required to live in. And they choose death than to live here. And if you're not on death row, then you're a partner with this, whether you know it or not. If you are not on death row, you are a partner with this, whether you know it or not. Now, when you think that you're not, when you think you got it going on, you just been played. You just been played that cool. Now, you've been played that cool, and I want you to accept that because this is not new. This has been going on since the beginning of time. Since the beginning, when people first decided that they were going to buy that lie, going to buy into deception. And deception has been eating them. I don't know. I don't know if there was a time in remembrance that you can call back or fall back on when everything was fine, when everything was being called back again, like I have been given to share with you now. Because this thing is not about something tomorrow. Let me tell you, every person that does not have a place to sleep tonight is going through changes, and it's our fault. Everybody that does not have a decent meal tonight, or whatever time it is, wherever you are, it is our fault. And it ain't got to be that stressful. Anybody that needs to get to a certain distance today, whether it's close or far, but cannot, it is our fault. You might come up with all kinds of excuses based upon all the kinds of systems that you've accepted, that you've allowed to exist on God's earth while God has provided everything for us, and you blindsided us, and we are as stupid can be when we could be living our dreams, but we are doing some crap that makes no sense. And Trump was ready to lead us to hell. They still had the Republicans, Democrats were trying to give you a little bit better, make it a little bit more decent, but it's still going straight to hell. And my mission, ladies and gentlemen, to you is that this is an opportunity. You can reject Trump, reject MAGA, reject the fact that there are systems that says it's okay. We're gonna work it out. No, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for that to stop. The new message, ever since human beings have been on earth, there have been changes. It is time now for a different change. Whatever we've had in the past, it's time for it to stop. It's time for a new change where human beings exist, that they are supposed to receive that which God has provided for them in truth and in righteousness and get this cancer out of our lives. Now, God is not going to make it happen except the pain and suffering that nature does to you. But other than that, you got to make the choice. You got to decide that you don't want to have to worry about how much food costs. You're going to have to be responsible for making the decision and what role you want to play in eliminating these problems and creating a solution to it. You're going to have to do that. You're going to have to realize what is important and request it and demand it, and that which isn't, make sure it is not. Well, my concern, change is coming, but I'm not worried about that. I know that for a fact. I'm saying it should come today. If I sit right here, let me just give you an example. If I'm sitting right here and I feel like I'm in Woodbury and I feel like I want to go to St. Paul, I want to run over there and talk to a few people, I should be able, some kind of way, public transportation because it's so ready, or there's whatever's a bus or train or taxi or whatever, or I should have a car right there ready. I can jump in it and go and do exactly what I want to do. Now, that means every last one of you. But if you can't, and if you had your way, you could. But your way has been squashed, and you've been forced or find yourself living a different way that says, no, you can't. How does that make you feel? and a system that says, well, how does that make you feel? You better thank your daily breath that there's a God somewhere that'll let you know that you are being had by people who got no more power than you. The only power they get a chance to exercise is that which ignorance has allowed them to steal from the public. Yeah, I'm pissed off. I'm pissed off because for 40 years I've been sitting back, wanting to live all the wonderful things that God has given, but rejected it because the system says I'd have to get out there and hustle like a slave, working 2, 3 jobs, whatever I can to get to amass the amount of money that would be necessary for me to do this and me to do that. How in the hell can I do that when I'm serving a God that tells me all of us supposed to be enjoying the work we're doing? All of us supposed to have the greatest joy in it. And all of us are doing what we want to do. And having done what we want to do, we've created all the things that we could have imagined. And we did it. And it all belongs to us. We don't owe anybody anything. We access what we want and desire. And I'm supposed to sit back and let some old nut that come here trying to tell you about some tariffs. I'm supposed to let some old nuts come here talking about get these people out of this country because they live in shithole. And I'm supposed to let them talk about he's my president. Are you out of your damn mind? I guess. Because that's exactly what you're saying about him for you. You're saying he's your president. You're not trying to change things. Now, I'm not asking you to go against the country. I'm asking you to stand up for God. See, God represents what's right. And where the country's right, it falls right in with God. Ain't no shame. And if the country's wrong, that's what it's for, to be exposed. Not to fight. We're lifting people up. We're lifting change with love. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's enough for now. I'll talk to you a later date. Goodbye for now.